Every day when I ride the bike, I'm still learning new stuff. There's so much to learn on this bike because it's a 1000cc bike.
I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough as
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So if you guys have followed me long enough on my YouTube channel, you guys should know I've bought my Yamaha R1 last year and I've been riding this bike for about a year now. Every day when I ride the bike, I'm still learning new stuff. There's so much to learn on this bike because it's a 1000cc bike. The power delivery and the handling is so much different as compared to the R6. And being the fact that this is a 1000cc bike, the power delivery is insane. Because of the geometry of the bike, it handles very different from the Yamaha R6. So I've been riding this bike for about a year now. So in today's episode, I'll be sharing with you guys my dislikes about the Yamaha R1. So the first thing I would like to talk about is the weight of this bike. This bike weighs around 206 kg and it's 20 kg heavier than the R6 and about 5 kg heavier than the newer R1. And I've tried the newer R1, it felt much lighter as compared to this R1. I think mainly it's because of the exhaust setup. It's an undertail exhaust, so all the weight are being focused at the top part of the bike, especially when you are lifting the bike up from the side stand. It requires a lot of effort, and also when you're riding on the road, when you're doing cornering, you have to use a lot of body weight, a lot of effort to push the bike down to corner the bike. So when I'm riding this bike on the highway, there's no issues at all. If you guys have ridden the Yamaha bikes before, you guys should know how hot the Yamaha engine is. The heat is unbearable when you are riding in the slow traffic. The temperature will hover around 95 to 100 degrees Celsius, and it's even worse when you are stopping at the traffic light. The temperature will shoot up to 110 degrees Celsius, and that's unbearable. And as you guys know, Yamaha bikes tends to have a very hot engine, especially on a sports bike like the R1 and the R6. I have a few riding friends who are riding the BMW S1000RR and the Honda CBR1000RR. They mentioned that their bikes is not as hot as the Yamaha R1. I'm also not sure why. So if you guys are looking for a cooler bike and engine heat is your main concern, I don't recommend you to get the Yamaha R1, as Yamaha bikes tends to have a very hot engine. So when I'm riding the bike with the constant airflow, I don't feel there's much heat on my leg area. Probably it's because of the design of the fairing, which disperses the heat away from my leg so I don't feel there's a lot of heat on my leg area when I'm riding. So I would say the Yamaha R1, it runs a lot cooler than the R6. Sports bikes are being designed to be lightweight, and the shape of the fairing is sharper, and the size of the fairings is also smaller as compared to other bikes. So the storage compartment are being compromised on the sports bike. So right now, let me show you guys how small the storage compartment is. So what I have in my storage compartment is my cloth, and the insurance paper, and also the parking coupons. And I still have these parking coupons with me. I have not been using these parking coupons for many years, and I'm sure you guys also have these parking coupons with you. So the amount of storage I have on this bike, I can only barely fit a wallet in, and I can't fit my handphone in. Once I have my handphone in, my pillion seat won't be able to close it properly. I've seen the newer Yamaha R1, the storage space is a lot smaller. You can't really put anything into the compartment. So if you guys are looking for bikes with bigger storage space, probably you want to get a scooter, because I've seen some of the scooters with a very big storage compartment, and even some of the scooters you are able to fit a helmet in. So if you are looking for storage space, don't get a sports bike. The one last thing which I really dislike about this bike is there's no fuel gauge on the instrument cluster to gauge the fuel level in my fuel tank. So right now, let me turn on the bike, show you guys the instrument cluster of this Yamaha R1. So other than the shift light, neutral light, the signal light, the traction control indicator, the temperature, the riding mode, the speed, the trip meter, the time, and the tachometer. There's no fuel gauge on the meter. The first sports bike which I've bought, which is the Yamaha R15 version 2, it comes with the fuel gauge. Where else on the R6, on the R1, it doesn't come with a fuel gauge. Sometimes it's really important to have a fuel gauge on the bike, because this will allow you to gauge your fuel level and also predict when's your next visit to the petrol station. So on the R6 and also on this Yamaha R1, how I predict my next visit to the petrol station is the mileage on the instrument cluster. So once I've hit 230 kilometers on the instrument cluster, I will need to visit the petrol station to fill up my tank. Whereas on the R6, at about 270 kilometers, I'll visit the petrol station. So one thing for sure is this Yamaha R1, the fuel consumption is a lot higher as compared to the R6. So I need to visit the petrol station a lot sooner. So if I lost track on the mileage for the next fuel up, I'll be running the bike without any fuel, I'll be running on low fuel, and I might need to push my bike to the petrol station to fill up my tank, which I don't wish to do so. God damn! Finally, I'm here. I've made it. Alright guys, so that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. So these are the 4 dislikes of my Yamaha R1. If you guys are planning to get one of these Yamaha R1, probably you can use this video as a reference before buying one. If you guys are wondering if there's any difference between the 2009 to 2014 Yamaha R1, it's exactly the same. There's no difference, just that there's some updates at the front end of the R1, like the day running light and the newer design head crown, and also the 6-level traction control on this bike. Other than that, it's exactly the same. The wheel, the hugger, the fairing, the tank, the frame, the engine, the tail, the swing arm are exactly the same. There's no difference. If you have any questions, you can DM me on my IG or you can comment down below. And also stay tuned in my next video as I'll be doing the lights of my Yamaha R1. So I will see you guys in the next one. Ride safe and bye.
I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough as